All right, Jimmy, welcome to the Sipping Point.
Hey, thanks for inviting me. I'm excited.
Awesome. Me too. We met in the green room at QVC. I think
We
it was
did.
last holiday season. And of course, I knew you as the face of Corky's barbecue on there, but I didn't realize at the time that we met and you're so wonderful that you were also the CEO and the owner. So,
Yep.
that is so impressive and your story is impressive. So, when I found out that you were willing to come on the show, I was excited to pair wines with some of your offerings on QVC and barbecue.
Yeah.
But before we get into all of that,
Yeah.
how the heck did you come to be the owner of Corky's and the face of Corky's to millions of people around the country?
Luck. No. um, luck played a little bit into it, but yeah. So I started my career at Corky's in the drive-thru 31 years ago, making $5.25 an hour, and so I wanted to wait tables. And people have often asked me, was that my goal to do that one day? And it really wasn't. It was really just kind of step by step. And so I got the opportunity to go to QVC way back. I think it was about 25 years ago now. And it was really when it wasn't necessarily a food category. It was more kind of regional cuisines featured sometimes.
Hmm.
And I was in between restaurants opening, and I was the manager. And so I got to go, and I just fell in love with it and was fascinated by it, and just learned from all the incredible people there, a lot of vendors and the hosts. And I just loved how it all worked. And so, yeah, we just built slowly on it from there, and been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah, and food is now one of the biggest
It's
categories
huge.
over there at QVC. So, I guess you're saying you lucked out, but I'm sure your
It's
personality
a
and
lot of hard
your
work.
demo ability had a lot to do with it. And so you
Yeah,
work your way up through the ranks
that's right.
from the window to
Yep.
other positions. It sounds like, from what I've heard, you've done all the positions there are to
Yeah.
do at Corky's. How did you come about being able to purchase the business from the founder?
Yeah. So, it was about a little over 4 years ago, and an opportunity just came up, and it was a transition time. And so, I thought I would just work forever. I was completely happy. I've always been happy with what I do. And so, but when the opportunity came up, I decided to, chase after it. So, found some great partners and investors, and we worked together. And it took, probably about a year and a half. It took a while, but yeah, but it worked out, and it's been great. So it's not a crazy transition for me. I ran a lot of the companies, and we have so many long-term people. We've worked together great for so many years. So, the only difference is, the original founders that I worked for forever and that are incredible, they're still around. They're just not in the business day to day. So still great friends with them and talk to them. So not too much has terribly changed.
That's nice. That's wonderful. It
Yeah,
sounds like a family.
but it
Uh,
is the good and
And
bad.
so I think I told you when we met, every year in April, I get down to Memphis.
Yep.
I'm here in Maryland on the East Coast. I get down to Memphis for Vintage 901, which is a
Yeah.
food and wine festival. So I love the town. It's such a
Yeah. It's
fun experience. I've been doing it. It's going to be 10 years this coming year.
awesome.
But I'm got to get myself to Corky's on my next
Yeah,
visit.
you
Last year
do.
was like a flood, like a crazy
Yeah.
hurricane flood. I
Yes.
don't know what happened. It was like barely able to get to the festival. But
Right.
if people are coming to Memphis or
Yeah.
want to plan a barbecue trip to Memphis, tell me about Corky's. What's the experience when people get there? Where can they visit you?
Yeah. I mean, we have 4 locations here in Memphis, in the Memphis area. The original location is on Poplar Avenue in East Memphis. It's just a barbecue joint. It's nothing fancy. The food and wine, that's up here. We're everyday, great barbecue. And that's what I love about it. And,
Hmm.
it's for everyone, and so we do get a lot of tourists, business and visitors through Corky's, which is great. We love meeting people from all over. But yeah, so right on Poplar Avenue in East Memphis. Yeah, come visit us.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And barbecue, and I love what you said about it's just like every day and it's down to earth. And that's
yeah,
exactly my philosophy of wine education. You
yeah,
don't have to be eating foie gras in a fancy restaurant in New York City to enjoy great wine. You can have a great rosé with pulled pork, barbecue from
Yeah.
Corky's, and have an amazing meal. And so I'm going to show you some pairings as we go
Yeah.
through the
And then I'll
talk
tell you
today.
my story about wine. Yeah,
Oh,
so go do
yes.
that.
I
Yeah.
love stories about wine.
Oh my gosh. So before you get to that, I'll tell you. So we used to, my wife and I, we didn't drink wine. A lot of our friends did. We just, we didn't, and it wasn't because of anything. We didn't know it. But went out to California, Napa and Sonoma, and for the first time with some friends, and we were more beer drinkers, and I didn't know the whole culture of wine and all the flavors and the stories, which I love the stories that go with them. So I was kind of drawn to that. So the funny thing is, my very first wine tasting, we're there with like three other couples, and so they sit us about 5 or 6 glasses with like this much in them. And when I didn't know the first time, of course, this big old Southerner beer drinking guy, as they start talking about the first one, I drink that, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so then I just drink all of the glasses while they're on the first one. I didn't know that they were going to go through them like that. So then they said, okay, well, let's move to the second one. I was like, I drank all mine. And she goes, that's not how this works. I was like, I'm sorry. So she re-poured, and then I waited my turn. But yeah, that was my very first experience
Oh,
in
that's
wine. I drank all the
fabulous.
tastings. But
That's
after
amazing.
that, we kind of, we just learned to love it. And I love the stories that go with it. I'm not great with the pairings and that, but we kind of find our favorites, and it's just so great to have really any time with them, with meals, and we always have when we travel. So it's great.
Well, and you don't have to be great with the pairings now, Jimmy, because now you got a
Good.
wine coach here that can
That's
help you
right.
anytime you need it.
I love that.
And I always put people at ease when I do tastings and different things around the country by telling them my first experience with wine, which was in high school at the drive-in movies. Do you remember those? And my first wine that I ever tried, it was Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill.
I know
Do you
that one.
remember it?
Of course I do. Of
So
course
you
I
can
do.
only go up from
That
there,
is
Jimmy.
right.
And
That
so,
is right.
yes, I get to taste all these fine wines, but wines don't have to be expensive and
That's
fancy
right.
to be great. And we
Yep.
all have to start somewhere. So
That's right.
that's how I started. So I
Yeah.
love your story.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things, obviously, we touched on the great products you bring to QVC.
Yeah.
And I saw you have a great assortment. It's either a 5-pound ham or a 5-pound turkey with 4 different sides
Yeah. The holiday meal.
and the holiday meal. And it ships
Yeah.
on December 15th. So I'm going to
Yep.
put the link on my show
Awesome.
page
Thank
and a
you.
picture of it so folks can see. But
Great.
I happen to be married to a chef here in the
That
house,
sounds like a terrible house. A wine
right?
expert and a chef.
So I got my chef to make a little sort of a sample of what you get if you order the QVC
Yeah.
meal from Corky's.
Awesome.
And I was just going to go through each of these elements and kind of introduce you to a couple of wines. But if
Great.
you just wanted to talk a little bit about, in general, how you put this together, it
Yeah.
sounds like it's done for you holidays.
It really is. This is probably our most popular item of the whole year, a single item. I mean, we do a lot of ribs and wings and pork, but this is the holiday meal that we do. We've done it, I think, 6 or 7 years in a row, which is crazy to have the same item over and over again at QVC. But to me, holidays are all about tradition. And, in my family, I want the same thing every holiday. It's nostalgic, and that's what I love about it. So we do these 5-pound boneless hams that are carving hams, which are awesome for presentation. The flavor's amazing. They're not dried out and all that. And then the turkey we do, boneless turkey, and they're fully cooked. The hams and turkeys fully cooked, ready to go. You're just heating them back up, and all the sides they can bake right in the trays that they come in, and everything you put in the oven together at the same time for about an hour. And so, and I talk about this on air, and I'm sure people think, oh, he doesn't really eat that or serve that at his holiday, but I actually do.
Love it.
And so we love it because we don't have to go get a million ingredients at the store. We don't have to spend all
Mhm.
to get everything. We can just put everything in, and everything comes out at once, and everything's hot at the same time, which is important to my wife. She doesn't like, this has gotten cold, and you're still cooking this, or let me borrow the oven space and all that. So it really
Right.
has it's become a tradition with so many QVC customers, and that means a lot to me. Especially on the big holiday when that's the time you want to have pride in what you serve and have everybody remember it. So we're very fortunate to be able to do this every year.
I love that. Everybody's spending their holidays with Jimmy.
That's right.
And my husband, even, if I did not have him here to cook our holiday meal,
Yeah.
certainly this would be top of my list. But even when he cooks, he uses those foil pans as well. So
Oh,
he can
yeah.
prep ahead and just heat everything up on the day of. And it
That's
just
right.
lets you enjoy the holiday with your family rather than being in the kitchen the whole time. So,
That's right. And I'm sure
yeah,
as a chef, he gets everything ready ahead of time so that when he does put everything in, it's all done. And so it just even takes that step out. And I think that's why people love it. Like you don't even have to prepare ahead
yeah.
of time with these. So yeah, I do serve it every Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. It's really funny. And it's not a lie. My family loves it. Everybody loves it. And so that's what we do. Now we do have a couple of the servings of it because I've got a big crowd, but it goes a long way and it's easy to do. And I think that's why people love it. But I would love to hear some wine pairings with it.
Yes, I was just going there. So I have a
Yeah.
white, a rosé, and a red because
Okay.
whether you get the ham or the turkey, these will all apply,
Okay.
thankfully. And
Yeah.
everybody has a different fave. Not everybody loves white or red. And
Yeah.
rosé is the hottest thing going
It
lately.
is. It is.
Dry rosé. So my
So you
first
do? Can you
pick,
do rosé in the wintertime?
yes, you
You good
can.
with it?
There's no
Okay.
longer a season for rosé.
Yeah.
That's what I
Okay.
love. And
Yeah.
even if they say there is, Jimmy, we're still drinking it. I
I
don't
agree.
care.
I agree. I wear what I want when I want.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep.
So the first one is a white. It's Elk Cove Pinot Gris, and
Okay.
it's from Willamette Valley, Oregon. I don't. Have you been
Mm.
out to Oregon?
I haven't been to Oregon, but I do love Oregon Pinot Noirs.
Yes.
That's my
So
yeah.
so
Yeah.
the signature red, of course, is Pinot Noir,
Yeah.
but their signature white is Pinot Gris.
Okay.
And funny thing, I think you would love out there. Everybody mispronounce it as Willamette,
Uh
but
huh.
out there, everybody's got T-shirts and signs that say it's Willamette. Damn it! So that's
How you remember it?
That's how you
Willamette.
remember it. But Elk Cove Vineyards, amazing vineyard. Pinot Gris, by the way, same grape as Pinot Grigio. It's just the Italians put an O on the end of everything.
Oh.
So it is the same thing, but it presents very differently. It's a little more fruit forward, a little
Mm.
less just citrus,
Yep.
a little bit more vibrant fruit. And I love this with the acidity, that crispness that's on the end of it, because the ham and the turkey, for that matter, and everything else that we have has salt in it.
Yeah.
And the acidity in this will soften right up with any of the saltiness in either the meats
Nice.
or the sides.
Okay.
So, what I teach people, and I think you're going to like this because we kind of have a similar attitude. When I learned about how you try food and wine pairings together, you
Yeah.
always taste the wine first, then you
Okay.
taste the dish, and then you go back to the wine and you think, how did that change? If you've done it right, you like the wine even more or just as
Right.
much.
Yeah.
But I thought, let me think about this. Wine, food, wine. It's kind of like a wine sandwich.
It
And
is.
nobody's afraid of a sandwich. I mean,
No
that's the
one.
most American thing ever.
That's right.
So
And you get
go
another
ahead.
drink of wine.
Exactly. So wine sandwiches, do I do it on every sip and bite? No. But the first
Yeah.
time you try the pairing, so when you are at your holidays and hopefully you'll get an Oregon Pinot Gris, you're
Yeah.
going to sip this, you're going to taste the ham, you're going to go back to this and you're going to like, wow, the ham made this taste better. And then when you go back for the second bite of your ham, this is going to make the ham
Wow.
even tastier. So
I
that's the
love
whole
it.
idea for me of wine, of how
Yeah.
wine can be part of the recipe of your meal. And so I just want to compliment it. Pinot Gris is a great way to go
Okay.
for the white.
That's
Have you had
awesome.
one?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've had that. I don't generally drink white, but that
Okay.
sounds really good. I don't like if it's super dry. And
Okay. This is
so
very fruity,
I
but
know.
it,
I
it
noticed
does
that
not
when you
have
said that.
sugar
Yeah.
because we have a little semantics in the wine industry. A lot of times people will say things are sweet when they mean fruity. If
Yeah.
it feels like it has real sugar, like sugary, like
Right.
Moscato, that's actually sweet.
Yeah. Right.
But it can be fruity.
Yeah.
But the thing I get a lot of times with people like you that say, I don't know, white, if it's for me, is
Right.
when I get them to do the wine sandwich and they go back, they're like, oh, now
Yeah.
I really enjoy this wine and I get it.
Okay, good.
Give
Yeah,
it,
I'm
give
gonna
her a
I'm gonna try
try.
that. We're going out to eat Thursday night. I'm gonna try that. Yeah.
I love that. Okay. And then the second one I brought, and just rosé all day and all season now, is this Bodega Garcon. It's a rosé of Pinot Noir, and it's from Uruguay.
Wow.
Crazily, it's an amazing winery. I love everything they make, but Pinot Noir is and you're going to hear Pinot Noir again in a second,
Yeah.
is such a great universal red that goes with the lighter meats like ham and turkey. So here you have basically a really, really light Pinot Noir because it's made just pink rather than leaving the skins to ferment longer and make it red.
Okay.
So even red grapes have clear juice.
Yeah.
And the only reason why this is pink is that we only let those skins color it for a couple hours.
Okay.
But with red Pinot Noir, which is going to be my next suggestion, we leave the skins on for days.
I didn't know
And
that.
that's how you
Okay.
get all the color and those polyphenols that are good for your heart and all that great
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But Pinot Noir, vibrant red fruit, that crisp acidity, just like the Pinot Gris, that when you go to one of the things I think this would be lovely with is the mac and cheese, your four
Mm.
cheese mac and cheese.
Mm.
And this is a contrasting pairing. So you're cutting the fat of that cheese with the
Okay.
acidity here. So it's like clearing your mouth. So the next bite is just as luscious.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, of course it goes with the meats, but same thing with the cheesy rice, broccoli rice that you have there. And some people can't drink red because of headaches or
Right.
other issues. And so this just gives them something with a little bit more gusto to it than a white if you're looking for that. And both of these are going to retail around $18 to $20.
I mean, that's great. That's a
That's
great
the sweet spot, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Loving that. Bodega Garzon is a state-of-the-art winery in Uruguay and just a beautiful. I had Mele Sosa from the winery on my show a few months back, and
Wow.
they're just really do everything right, sustainable, thinking about the earth. And,
Yeah.
That's important because we care about what's in our food, but I care
Yeah.
what's in my wine too.
That's right. And I love meeting the winemakers, and they're so passionate about what they do. And I think that's something, whether it's food or wine, I think that just shines through. When
Hmm.
you hear the stories and you see the passion, and then, just like you're sharing the flavors and the taste that come through and what it does with food, it just makes it so much better. Like, I love hearing
Hmm.
the stories about wine. And so what you just said about meeting them and this is where they're from, like, I'm already kind of bought in, and it's the same thing we do with food, or like your husband, with chef, telling you what's in it and how it's cooked, and it's just drawing you in. And that's kind of when we started really enjoying wine, when we started hearing this. And then when you get recommendations from other people, or, hey, what wine for this, and then they tell you about it, then you're kind of drawn in. That's what I love about it. It's not just, here, open a bottle of water or something. There's nothing to it. There's nothing behind it.
Exactly. And I think that's probably why people are drawn to you as well, because you're telling the story of Corky's
Yeah.
and the offerings, on QVC, and that's live. And so people really get to feel like, they're there with you and you're
Right.
just
Right.
walking them through their
Yeah.
meal.
That's right. That's right.
Before I give you my red selection here,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours, but
Okay.
what is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you while you've been on QVC, whether it's live or back in the QVC Skype days of
Yeah.
COVID?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. So I, knock on wood, have been fortunate on live at the studio. I've seen a lot of things happen. I fortunately have not had anything crazy. At home during COVID, when we were shooting, originally we did it in my kitchen. And, every time I had a show, and sometimes I have 3 a week or whatever, we set up all the cameras, set up the lighting, and connected the cords to the internet. It was a huge setup. And then we moved my table so it was like at the good
Ugh,
angle, and raised
I
it up off
remember.
the. I mean, it's like a whole production at home, where, usually you walk into QVC and everything's set, ready to go. So fortunately for me, which a lot of people were not this fortunate, I mean, we do have restaurants, and so I do have people to help me. And so Yolanda, who works for us, and she used to run our upscale catering company, so she always does all our food at home, and she did even way back then. So we had, during COVID, I had an hour show, and that's different than a one hit. When you have
Yes, it is. I've
6 or
done
7 or 8
that.
minute hit, it's one thing you're showing, you can cook it and put it out. But when you're talking about an hour and you've got 6 items or 7 items, whatever, not only do you have to have everything timed out right, so that it's hot when it's supposed to be, and you have the lineup of the show, but you also have to have all the plates that make it look nice, and then all
Mhm.
this stuff. So it's all over everywhere behind the camera, and then she's running in and out of the oven, and meanwhile I'm on and talking. And so anyway, I think I was connecting, this might have been 7 minutes out before my hour. And so you can imagine what my house looks like. I mean, there was stuff everywhere. And we had air fryers going, we had the ovens going, and all of a sudden all of my power blew. It was 7 minutes before an hour show. And an hour show is a lot of
It
not
is.
just product, a lot of money, a lot on the line. Like, it's a lot. And
Mhm.
I'm telling you, I mean, I went into full panic. And then I got angry because I'm like, I can't let anybody down. You know, like I can't stand to let people down. And so I'm running out to the garage, flipping breakers to unplug all those air fryers. You know, no, because I just assumed that's what it came from. And I had to wait, you know, the internet to boot back up, which seems like an eternity. I am
Mhm.
pouring sweat. I am angry and kind of like, you know, which nobody, I don't let that side say, you know, people see that.
Right.
And it came back up. I connected. I had 1 minute before the airing. And I went, calm down, calm down, calm down. And went on live for an hour like nothing had ever happened. And I'm telling you, this 7 or 8 minutes before was total chaos. And at home, no
Ugh.
anybody watching, no one would have known. But everyone in my house, I mean, it was chaotic. But you had to learn and deal with stuff like that. It was just
Absolutely.
unlike anything, and things always happen, but that was sort of crazy. One other time at home during COVID or later in COVID, you know, we had some friends over, and so when I would have all this food, I would have friends over come get the food or whatever, you know, the extra food, and they would bring. They got in the habit of bringing their to go stuff and foil and whatever little to go containers. And so one time I had an hour show and I had wings on in the beginning. And so then after I had those, and you know, I probably have a pile of them sitting here and they're hot. She took them outside and everybody was on the porch and they were eating and whatever. And then the producer came back in my ear and said, "Hey, we're going to bring the wings back at the end of the show." And I was like, "Mm." And so they cut to commercial. I was like, "Yolanda, they're bringing the wings back." She shot outside, literally pulled it out of people's hands. She's like, "I've got to have those wings back." And so people had little plates of 2 and she was grabbing all those back. And so then at the
Oh
end of the
my
show,
gosh.
here we go. We had them back out there. So yeah, it was some chaotic and fun times being on, you know, remote like that.
Yeah. You're right. We are spoiled when we're in the studio. It's so
Yeah,
much
there's so
easier. You
many
don't have to
people,
think of all
everything's
the
taken
tech
care
and
of.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
The
true.
worst thing is, oh, your battery's getting low on your mic. Okay. That's the worst.
Right.
That's about the
Yeah.
worst.
I
So
had
yeah. So what
one
about you? Yeah.
during COVID. It was a phone holder and that you was on a lanyard so you could like keep
Yeah.
your phone with you, and the little straps that went around the side I had misplaced, and it was hold, you know, the button on the right of your iPhone that if you hold
Yeah.
it down it calls the police.
Yeah.
Well, this is 2 o'clock in the morning, by the way, as well. 2 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't notice that thing was held down. It called the police in my town, and then when I did notice it, I quick hit like, you know, hang up.
Cancel.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, they thought there was an emergency here. So now the police start calling and calling my phone back, and I'm still in the middle of the
You're on
segment
air.
trying to like just keep it together, you know what I mean? And then finally, it was thankfully not an hour show, but finally when I was done, I quick like called the police station. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Do not
I'm
come
so
out here.
sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
fine." Like my whole family's asleep upstairs. Like, please.
Right. Oh
Oh
my
God. That
gosh.
was crazy. That was crazy.
It's funny
Yeah.
that we can maintain composure when all this craziness is going around going
Right.
on. That's great. That's
I
awesome.
know. It's a good one. All right. And you know what else is a good one is the One Stone Pinot Noir. And what's really cool, I think, all three of these, because they're everyday drinking wines, are all screw cap wines. Jimmy, it's no
It's
longer
nice.
social suicide. This is
I
totally
know.
fine now. It's not like my old days of Boone's Farm. But One Stone Pinot Noir is from San Luis Obispo. It's a California Pinot.
Okay.
And it is actually produced under the Ancient Peaks winery. And I love everything that Ancient Peaks does. But this line is really celebrating women. And it's a female artist, local artist who did the
The
labels, which are
label. That's so
beautiful.
cool. I know that's why I took a look at it as soon as you held it up.
Yeah, it's not always the best way to choose your wine, but in this case,
No,
it
I know, but that's
works.
great looking. Yeah. Yeah.
And the wine proceeds benefit a portion of it, a nonprofit called Dream Big Darling, which is a mentoring program for women going into the wine business.
I
Because
love
it's
that.
still pretty, you know, there still are not as many
Male
women as you might
Yeah.
think in
Yeah.
wine. So
Yeah.
so you're tasting something great, you're doing something nice, and you know you have Ancient Peaks, which is a renowned winery
Right.
behind it. A Pinot Noir from California around $18, which is kind of unheard of. So you
Yeah.
also have value here. And then what I love about Pinot, and we often say that it's a white wine masquerading as a red wine,
Okay, I can see
is that
that.
is
Yeah,
it's not so big. So it can go with your ham and your
yeah.
turkey and your lighter meats or even salmon.
That's what I like. I like it lighter, and I'll drink a big bold cab or whatever if I'm having a big steak. But honestly, I would rather have a Pinot Noir
Yes.
most of the time. Most of the time. And it's not because I don't like other ones. It's just it's easy to drink for me. It's very easy to drink, and I can't wait to try that.
Yeah,
That sounds
you're gonna
fantastic.
love it. It's
Yeah.
really, and that's why I like Pinot too. I think when I first started out in wine and when I was younger, I liked to like bigger, more aggressive wines. And I
Yeah.
think as I've gotten older, I really appreciate the whites and the rosés and the lighter reds
Yep.
and how they just complement the food better. And
Yeah.
that's more important to me. It's, just kind of
What
evolved.
what about the region? What do you like if it's California, Oregon? Like you're a wine expert. Um, what do you like about different regions? Like I pick an Oregon Pinot because generally like that. I don't know why, but I will look if I'm not sure or I want to try something different. Like it's a no brainer for me if I see an Oregon Pinot. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab that.
I agree. And I've been to Oregon so many times, I can't
Have
count
you?
because
I've
I
never been. I've
absolutely
never been. I
love it
need to
there.
after this.
I have all the places to visit, so I'll hook you up with
Good.
that. But
Good.
yeah, I love Oregon Pinot, and it is a different style than a California Pinot in a lot of
Yeah. So
cases.
what's the difference to you? Like, what are you picking? Like, you picked this one for that because I would say
Yes,
this holiday meal, it's a heavy meal. It's indulgent,
it is.
but it's
We do
holiday
have a
food. I
lot
mean,
going
it's not.
on.
Yeah, you do. And so,
Yeah.
like, why? Like for that, you picked this California peanut. What made you do that?
Yeah, I mean, in general, California Pinots are a little bit bigger
Yeah.
than Oregon, so you have that. This one is not over the top, so it's not by any means like you don't need to put meat with it. It still
Right.
is restrained enough. But I thought with like the macaroni and cheese and the cheesy rice and the cornbread stuffing, with your stuffing that's kind of hearty too,
But
that
yeah.
that this California really went well. It had the good acidity
Nice.
to still stand up. That being said, if you did put this with an Oregon Pinot, you're not going to
Yeah.
go wrong either.
Right.
But I
Right.
think
Right.
that's what I love about wine
Yeah.
and probably you love about being a barbecue judge. It's all barbecue, right? But
Yeah.
there's so many different styles and
Yeah.
interpretations. So Pinot Noir from France, which is we call red Burgundy,
Yep.
is a totally different experience than an Oregon, than a California,
Right.
or other places that make Pinot Noir. Uruguay, okay, we just talked about that.
Yeah.
So I find it exciting because wine isn't like Coca-Cola. We don't want it to taste
Exactly.
the same every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I like that about it. I really do
Mhm.
because depending on what mood you're in or what you want to have, you know, I love having the different areas. It's we were in France one time. We drank Burgundy or yeah, Burgundy, and it was. I mean, it was
Nice.
fantastic. It was fantastic. Yeah. So depending on what mood that we're in or what we're eating or
Ex-
whatever, I love being able to have different and try different things too. Like you said, barbecue. Like I'm obviously partial to pork because that's what we do here in Memphis, and ribs but I love Texas beef brisket and smoked sausage. Like I
Ooh,
love spicy stuff. So it's not like, oh, well, that's just a different, thing over there. I love that too. It's just a different flavor, different profile.
yes, I agree. And with wine, the other variable you get is that you have vintage. So every year could be a different, weather, and that's going to produce a different wine stylistically as well. So you could have hot years, you could have cool years, and all of that affects the way the wine tastes and presents. And
Yeah.
so I find it exciting
Yeah.
because it's just you're always learning. It's never like wine check.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You
It's
don't
always
get there.
different, new. Yeah.
Yeah. So for your holidays, what does it look like at your house for the holidays?
Yeah, a
Like,
little
are you having a
chaotic,
huge
a little
crew? Are you
chaotic.
doing
I love the chaos.
cocktails?
No, we do. Yeah, we have about 20 to 25 people. This year we have it'll be pushing it maybe a little over 25. But, I do the cooking or I cook all this stuff. And so then and we add rolls obviously, but and then like my mom will bring a casserole, but she doesn't have to bring 5 casseroles, she brings one. And then someone else will take care of the dessert for us and bring that. And so, people don't have to do too much, and so they can just show up and have fun. And so they start coming over. I think we eat a little bit early. I don't know the time yet, but everybody just starts coming over and hanging out and enjoying that time. Because really, that group of people, my immediate family and my wife's sisters and things like that, while we see everybody often, not everybody's together at once.
Hmm.
Very, very often at all, really just holidays. So it's really nice to kind of the ones we see a lot, and then they don't see each other. It's good to have that together. And then the little ones, the kids are running around, which is always fun for me because I kind of thrive on chaos and stir them up and get them going. And
I could see that. I love it. Awesome. Well, if folks want to connect with you on social media, what's the best way of doing that? And
yeah,
how can they
yeah.
connect with Corky's?
Awesome. So Corky's, our handles are Corky's Memphis, just straight Corkys Memphis. And then I am Jimmy Stovall QVC. So JIMMY STOVALL QVC on all of my handles as well. So, any questions you ever have or anything like that, I'm very responsive. I check my socials. It's me coming back to you. It's not some bot or somebody in here. So it's me.
Wow.
But I'm grateful to be part of this. I love wine. I was excited when you first asked. In April, if you're doing that again, 901, I will
Absolutely.
definitely be there. I will definitely be there.
Okay.
This year, I think I was out of town or something. I can't remember, but in fact, when you told me about that, I told my friends that we all went to wine country years ago. I was like, hey, I talked to somebody at QVC there, and they knew about it. And so we
Oh,
talked about going,
good.
but then there was a couple of us out of town. But this time we will definitely be there. We will
I would
definitely be
love
there.
that. Oh, yeah. We'll be dangerous. I could see that
Yes,
being a lot of
yes, that's
fun.
right. No cameras, no cameras.
No cameras, right? Awesome. I'll post the link to your QVC
Great.
holiday meal that
Thank
ships
you.
on December 15th so folks
Yep.
can get that and not worry at all. And Jimmy, thank you so much for coming on the Sipping Point. Next time we're doing this in person so you can
We
drink the
are.
wine.
Then we
All
can do
right.
cheers. That's
Cheers.
right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having me.
Thanks.